Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you guys how to crochet a beautiful spider sweater. This sweater is somewhat inspired by Halloween, and I'll be teaching you guys how to customize this sweater to suit whatever size that you're making it for. What I'm going to be using for this tutorial is a 4-ply milk cotton yarn and a 3mm hook. You can make use of any yarn at all that you have available. Just make sure that you get your measurements right. Now, in order to make this sweater, we need to make 4 panels. The front panel, the back panel, and 2 panels for the sleeves. So now, we're going to start by making the front panel. And in order to do this, we have to take our measurements. Now, the measurement you're going to be needing is your full bust measurement. I'll leave a diagram I got from Pinterest on the screen that illustrates how to take your full bust measurements. That's if you don't know how to. So once you've gotten your full bust measurement, you're going to add 6 inches to whatever you got. So mine is 36 inches. 36 inches plus 6 is 42 inches. So once you've gotten that, divide that by 2. And for me, 42 divided by 2 is 21. So the width of my front and back panel will be 21 inches. This sweater will fit a size large and a size medium. So if you wear a size large or a medium, you can work with my measurements. But I'll still advise that you take your measurements so that this can fit you perfectly. Now let's get into the tutorial. Now to start off the front panel, we're going to start by making a slip knot. Once you've done that, chain up 4. Then you're going to yarn over and skip 3 chains. And into the 4th chain, make it double crochet. Now chain up 14. Skip 3 chains and go into the 4th with a double crochet. So from here onwards, we're going to repeat from here to here till this measures half of our bust measurement. So now chain up 4 and skip 3 chains. Make a double crochet into the 4th chain. Chain up 14. Skip 3 chains and make a double crochet into the 4th chain. So just repeat this pattern till you get whatever measurement you got after you did the little calculation. So mine is 21. I'll repeat till this measures 21 inches. I have repeated my pattern till this measures up to 21 inches. And it's very important for you to end at the chain 14 repeats like I did here. Now let's make row 2. For row 2, chain up 1 and you're going to make a slip stitch into the double crochet stitch here. Once you've done that, chain up 3 and we're going to make 3 unfinished double crochet into the stitch. So to do that, yarn over and insert your hook into, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now do this 2 more times. Then yarn over, pull through the 4 loops on your hook. And now we've made a double crochet cluster, chain up 2, and in the same stitch we're going to make 3 double crochet cluster. So make 3 unfinished double crochet into that stitch. Then yarn over and pull through the 4 loops on your hook. Chain up 9. Skip this chain space here. Go into the next double crochet stitch and make 3 unfinished double crochet. Then yarn over, pull through. So this is a cluster stitch. I'll be referring to it as a cluster stitch for the remaining of this tutorial. Now chain up 2, and in the same stitch make a cluster stitch. Chain up 11, and in the next stitch here we're going to make a cluster stitch, chain up 2, and make another cluster stitch. So this is how it looks like. So now we're going to repeat from here to here till we get to the end of the row. Chain up 9, skip this chain space, and into here make a cluster stitch, chain 2, and another cluster stitch into that same space. Now chain up 11, you're going to make a cluster stitch into the next space here, chain up 2, and make a cluster stitch into that same space. So just repeat the pattern like I told you till you get to the end of the row. Now let's finish up row 1. I already did my 9 chains, so in here I'm going to make my cluster stitch, chain up 2, and make a cluster stitch into that same stitch. Now for row 2, chain up 1, turn your work, and into the chain space make a slip stitch, chain up 3, and into that same chain space we're going to make our cluster stitch, chain 2, cluster stitch. Chain up 5, and you're going to pass your hook under like so, yarn over, pull through, then yarn over and pull through to make a single crochet, then chain up 5, and into here we would make our cluster stitch, chain 2, another cluster stitch. So now in the middle of each cluster stitch throughout the project, we'll be making a cluster stitch, chain 2, and another cluster stitch. I am leaving these instructions so I don't sound too repetitive in this tutorial. Now chain up 9, and we're going to skip this chain space, and in the middle here we make our cluster. From here onwards till we get to the end of the row, we're going to repeat from here, as from the 5 chain here down to this point till you get to the end of the row. Now let's do it one more time. Chain up 5 and pass your hook under, and make a single crochet, chain up 5, and you're going to make your clusters in here. Now chain up 9, we're going to skip here and go into here with the clusters. Now just keep repeating till you get to the end of the row. For row 3, chain up 1 and turn your work. And now make a slip stitch into the chain space here, chain up 3, now chain up 2. We're going to skip all of this and go into here. Now chain up 9, we're going to skip all of this and go into here. Make your cluster stitch. Now you're going to repeat from here, this chain 2 to this place till you get to the end of the row. So now chain up 2 and skip all of this, go into here, make your cluster stitch. Now chain up 9 and skip all of this, go into here with your cluster stitch. So just repeat this till you get to the end of the row. For row 4, chain up 1 and turn your work. Now make a slip stitch into here like usual. Then we're going to repeat this. Now chain up 11. You're going to skip here and go into here. Chain up 9. And you're going to skip here, go into here, make a cluster stitch. So you're going to repeat from here, that's this chain 11, down to here till you get to the very last stitch. For row 5, chain up 1 and turn your work. Chain up 9. You're going to skip this chain space and go into here and make a cluster stitch. So now chain up 5. So we have a total of 4 chain spaces here. So you're going to place your hook under the 4th chain space. Hold all of them together and yarn over. Make a single crochet. Chain up 5. And make your cluster into the next stitch. Now chain up 9. And you're going to skip this and go into here with the cluster. So we're going to repeat from here to here till we get to the end of the row. I already did my chain 9 repeats. So I'm going to chain up 5 now. Then place your hook under the 4th chain space. Hold them together, yarn over, and make a single crochet. Chain up 5. And into here would make our cluster. So you're going to repeat this till you get to the end of the row. Now chain up 9. Skip this, go into here and make your cluster. Chain up 2. Skip this. So just repeat from here to here till you get to the end of the row. For row 7, chain up 1 and turn your work. Chain up 9. Chain up 11. And make a cluster. So you're going to repeat from here to here till you get to the end of the row. For row 8, chain up 1 and turn your work. Chain up 5. Now you're going to place your hook under the 4th chain space here. Hold on to all the chain spaces, yarn over, make a single crochet, chain up 5 and make your cluster, chain up 9, chain up 9, skip here and make your cluster stitch to the nest. You're going to repeat from here to here till you get to the end of the row. Now guys, repeat row 3 to row 8 till you get to your desired length for the top. Now take into consideration that we're going to be making the neckline for this top. I would advise that you place this from where you want your neckline to start, that is right underneath your neck bone, to where you want your top to stop. I'll do mine and I'll tell you how many rows I did and give you guys my measurements. So guys, this is mine. I did a total of 20 rows and it measures 11 inches. Now I want to show you guys how I finished this up. My edges are not really straight, so I need to make this even. So I would make my clusters like normal, then chain up 2 and into the next cluster I'll make another cluster stitch. Here I have 2 chain space, similar to what we did at the beginning. Chain up 5 and I'll go underneath, make a single crochet, chain up 5 and into here I would make my cluster. So just repeat from here to here till we get to the end of the row. I'm done with the last row for my top. Now you're going to map out where you want your neckline to start and end. You can do this by placing it on your body. So I'll do mine off camera and give you the measurement for my neckline. So guys, I've identified where I want my neckline to start and end, and this measures 10 inches. From here to here measures 10 inches. So you can make yours wider or you can make yours smaller. Now the total amount of rows I have for the body of my work is 21 rows. Now let's make the neckline. So I'm going to be making the row 4 repeats since I ended with the 2 chains at the extreme here. So just figure out what row repeat you ended at and repeat the next row after that row. So for row 1, chain up 1 and turn your work. Now slip stitch into here and make my cluster stitch as usual. Now chain up 11 and into the next cluster I'll make my cluster stitch. Now chain up 2 and we're going to skip all of this and go into here. So this is where I placed my stitch marker for my neckline. So I will just take out the stitch marker and work my last stitch. You can just continue repeating the pattern for whatever row repeats that you're on. Now for row 2, chain up 1 and turn your work. Now chain up 11 and we're going to make a cluster stitch in here. Now chain up 9 So for here, I'm going to repeat what we did on the last row of the body of the work to kind of make this balance out, like make the pattern balance out. So chain up 5 and you make a single crochet chain up 5, and we'll make our cluster. Chain up 9, and into here we'll make the cluster. For row 4, I already made my cluster. Chain up 9, so from here onwards, just go back to the normal pattern, repeat till you're satisfied with the length of the neckline. Now chain up 2, now for row 5, chain up 11, now chain up 9, for row 6, we're going to chain up 5, and make your single crochet, chain up 5, chain up 9, so guys, I'll stop at row 7 because this is 5 inches already and I'm okay with the measurement. So if you're making this for a much larger size, like extra large, extra large, I would advise that you make more rows, but this is okay for me. I'm going to stop here. So I would repeat the same pattern I did for row 22 for the body. Chain up 5 and make your single crochet, chain up 5 and cluster stitch. Now chain up 2, and that's it for the neckline. Chain up 1 and cut your loose end. So go ahead and do the same thing for this other side as well. Attach your yarn here and repeat the exact same thing that you did here, like this. Chain up 11, so just repeat the exact same thing you did here for here. So I'm done with both sides for my neckline. Now you're going to go ahead and make another panel exactly like this without the neckline. That's going to be our back panel. So this is my back panel. I made 21 rows for my back panel. Now chain up 1 and cut. So we're going to attach our front and back panels together. So you would attach the top of the back panel to the top of your neckline, and we'll be doing this with a darning needle. You can also do this with slip stitches. So you're going to go in with your needle into the very first stitch here on top, and into the first stitch on the side as well. and tie to secure. Now insert your hook into the next stitch, which is this chain, and into the next stitch of the other panel. And pull. Now insert your hook into the next stitch on this panel, which is the chain, as the second chain, and into the next stitch on the other panel, and pull. So this is what we're going to be doing. We'll just sew 8 stitches from each panel. So go ahead and do the same for the other side as well, and would make the sleeves. So guys, this is my panel for my sleeve. The width measures 16 inches while the length is 22 inches. I did a total of 38 rows. So I just made this the same way we made the front and back panel. Now you would need 2 panels for this. So to determine the middle of your top, you're going to look for the middle of the neckline here. So remember I did 7 rows for mine. That means the 4th row is the middle of my top. So I'll just hold on to that and fold. Or better still, you can place your stitch marker at the middle. Now to attach the sleeves, you're going to divide the width of the sleeves into 2. Remember mine is 16, so 16 divided by 2 is 8. So once you've gotten that, you're going to take your measurements from the middle of your work. From here to here is 8 inches. I'll place another stitch marker here. So once you've gotten this, you can now count the number of stitches here and skip the same amount of stitches for this panel as well. Then we can start attaching our sleeves. So once you've done that, you're going to look for the middle of your sleeve. So this is mine. Now, attach your stitch marker that you placed at the middle of your top to the middle of your sleeve. Attach your stitch marker you placed at the front panel to the end of your sleeve. Do the same for the other panel as well. So now we can start sewing this up. In order to attach, remove your stitch marker. And insert your needle into this panel and into the first stitch for your sleeve. then tie. So from now onwards, we're going to be sewing this randomly because the panel on this side and the panel on this side doesn't look the same. So just hold on to it and sew randomly. So keep on doing that till you get to the end here. So guys, I'm done attaching both of my sleeves together, and this is how it looks like. Sorry that you can see it in full. My workspace is really small. I follow the same process I use in attaching this for this as well. So now the next thing we're going to do is to fold this into two. And we're going to sew the sides. So from the bottom here, attach your darning needle and sew till you get to the end of the sleeves. It's pretty late here, so I won't be showing how to do that, but it's the same method. Just attach your darning needle and sew up till you get to the end of the sleeves. I'll do mine and I'll show you guys the finished product. Another thing I would like to add is the sides that we'll be working on. You can notice this is very rough. This side is going to automatically be the back of our work. So when you're done sewing, you'll flip this to the front and try it on. So I'm going to do mine off camera, and this is where we're going to end this tutorial. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel. And please give this video a thumbs up. I would love to see pictures of your work. I'll very much appreciate it. I always look forward to seeing pictures of your work. So if you make this top, please send it to me through any of my social media platforms. I'll be very happy. Thank you, and see you guys in another tutorial really soon.